Freedom comes with responsibility. 25 years to life doesn't always just mean 25 years. Take a nice deep breath. Do it again. Smell that? Can you smell that? That's the smell of freedom. It's actually hard to explain until you've been where I've been. When you hear the word freedom, have you ever given it much thought to what that actually means? Not the freedom of being an American or the American flag, the red, white, and blue, or even 4th of July or Civil War. I'm talking about me being able to speak to you today and talk to you about your daily freedoms. Let me give you some examples. Freedom includes your choice of clothes, your shoes, your jeans, your slacks, your hats, your jackets, things that you want to wear. Look across from where you are right now. Do you notice that guy over there? Or the girl? I bet you see a variety of people and jackets and clothes and styles. You can go to the mall, you could go to the movies, you could go to your friend's house. You can just go out. You can watch TV, play video games. You can hang out all day. You can listen to music or text on your cell phone. You can go out to eat. You can order in. You can just be out and about, walking down the street. Some of you drive. Some can. Some can't. Some shouldn't. Freedom is when you get to kiss your boyfriend or your girlfriend. You might consider getting high or getting a few beers, a bottle of Henny, Remy, Jameson. These are what I call freedoms, to be free and to be free to do the things that you want to do. But keep in mind, each time you make a choice to break the law, to break the rules, regardless of how small or large the crime, you risk going to prison. And when you're in prison, you surrender all of your freedoms. Now remember, it only takes a split second to have these freedoms taken away from you. And all you have to do is break the law. If you go to jail, that's up to a year's time behind bars. You might be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And yeah, a year goes by pretty quickly. But it can also take an eternity. In a year's time, or so, you should be getting out. Society states that your chances are great that you're going to go back to jail once you've been there. There's also the possibility that the crime you did, payback's going to be a lot more than just a year in jail. Let's say you get 10 years. There's no guarantees you're getting out in 10 years. There are just no guarantees. Do you like to watch TV? Well, if you can even watch TV, you don't get to decide what you watch. You don't even decide what you can eat. And if you like privacy, there is none. There are no bathroom or shower doors to close either. Once you become a felon, you can't receive any government loans or have a business license of any kind or get a government loan to help you pay for school or one day buy a house. When you're in prison, school is a freedom. So is church. And so is work. There is nothing fun about prison. Looking at something other than four walls, a stainless steel toilet and sink, and other angrier inmates who have nothing else to lose, that's scary. That's really scary. You're now caged, and you have minimal time in the outdoors, and you're going to be in the general population yard with everybody else. As tough as you are on these streets, you won't be considered tough in prison. Nothing you know can even compare to what you'll be in prison. Prison is real. It's very, very real. And it's very, very scary. When you go to prison, you might get to live in a cement 8x10 room with two other people. They're going to make all the rules for that space, including what you get to do all day. They were there first. Tonight, when you're in your own bed at home and you roll over or you just adjust your pillow, be thankful that there's no one in the bunk above you. When you're in prison, if you bump their bunk and you wake them up, better be ready to start your prayers. Trust me, they will be pissed off if you wake them up. When you feel like crying, forget it. Crying doesn't go over well in prison either. The clothes you get to wear, well, those are state issued. They're the same as everyone else. If you don't have your own underwear, you get to wear the same pair that someone wore just the other day. If you don't want to eat your prison meal, that's no problem. Someone else will eat it for you. You'll just have to go hungry. There are no vending machines for you to go to. There's no McDonald's. You eat what's served and when it's served. And if you miss a meal, that's too bad. Recently, every day, dinner has been an egg salad sandwich. You like having money in your pockets? Forget it. In prison, where would you get your money? Will you get it from your mom or your dad, your brothers, your sisters, your friends? Where are they supposed to get the extra money to send you? There's no money in prison, but you'll find out very quickly that you definitely need to have money just to survive daily. Your family and friends, they need to send it to you. And all of the money goes into an account that the prison will manage. This is what you get to spend. Do you like to smoke? Vape? Well, you can't smoke in prison, so you're going to be quitting that habit real soon. And you're also going to have to get a job. And if you get a job in prison, they're going to pay you $1 a day. If you want to own your own socks and shoes, your own toothbrush, hairbrush, underwear, you have to pay for it. Otherwise, you get to wear the clothes that your friend wore last week. While you're in prison, your friends and loved ones will write to you for a while. And your girl, your guy, they'll be faithful to you for a while too. But eventually, they'll move on. You're gone. And if you're a lifer, you may never come back. You may never see their smile, feel their touch, or be able to kiss them again. Your loved one might die while you're in prison, and everyone, including the prison, might forget to tell you. You might die in prison. Who's going to know? The hardest thing to do is hope that someone writes you a letter. Or better yet, comes to visit you. But when it's time for them to leave, it sucks. They get to leave, but you don't. You're stuck in this hellhole. Sometimes you just think, it's just not worth it. I just want to die. But you don't. Think about this. I mean, really think about it. Look at the person right next to you. Is that your best friend? Your best friend forever, right? How about if you're never going to be with your best friend again? What if they get sick? Or if they get diagnosed with some disease and they only have a few months or days or even hours to live. What if this happens to your parents or your siblings? Have you even given much thought about not being with your mom and dad? Sure, parents can piss you off, but what if you never get to see them again? How would you feel if you couldn't get to your mom or dad, your brother, your sister, your lover, your friend? What if they died? What if you were going to miss their funeral? Trust me, you will never appreciate freedom as much as you will when it's taken away from you. Prison? Huh, don't go there. Years ago, a family friend was sent to prison for a crime that he committed while he was a teenager. He was barely 15 years old, and he was tried and convicted as an adult. He was sentenced to a 25-year to life sentence and sent to state prison. His mother and I would do our best to visit him as often as possible, and believe me when I say the process was a difficult one. We would arrive as early as possible to the prison, which was well over an hour's drive to get to. And that was when the prison that he was most recently sent to was closer to where we lived. It was necessary to be there as early as possible. We would usually arrive between 6:30 and 7 a.m. And we'd get in line and we'd just wait because only so many visitors would be allowed to enter the prison for visitation that day.